So I wanted to take a few minutes with this video to talk about 3 interesting PlayStation 5 stories, and if you could hit that like button on the video, thank you to those that do it, and as always, it's very much appreciated. Now, the stories I wanted to dive into today includes a major DualSense upgrade, the next Spider-Man 2 trailer, and the crazy Sony hate going on right now. First, rate the DualSense controller from 1 to 10. It's been years that people have been using this controller at this point, and I'm curious what your current ratings are for it. So comment below from 1 to 10, what is your current rating for the DualSense controller? Let me know down in the comments below. Now, diving into the first story of the video, the Sony hate is crazy at this point. Reading from Video Game Chronicle, Sony has criticized the UK's Competition and Markets Authority CMA on its revised appraisal of Microsoft's proposed acquisition of Activision Blizzard. After 5 months of investigation, the UK regulator provisionally found in February that the deal could reduce competition and result in higher prices, fewer choices, or less innovation for UK gamers. However, a month later, the CMA seemingly reversed its decision, saying it had updated its provisional findings after receiving fresh evidence that alleviated some of its concerns about the $69 billion deal. Sony's response, published today by the CMA, questions the regulator's new stance. The CMA's reversal of its position on its console's theory of harm is surprising, unprecedented, and irrational. Sony's response reads, This continues on to discuss this new lifetime value model that the CMA has looked into from Microsoft, which showcases the lifetime value of a player for a company. And what it shows them is that Xbox would lose a lot of money if they made Call of Duty exclusive. And Sony's point is that the lifetime model they have is incorrect. I believe that's what they're going for. And actually, the value of a player goes up 3 times when they become an Xbox player. Now, that statement in itself is not crazy. It makes sense because if they convert players from PlayStation to Xbox, those players will start buying into the ecosystem, with buying games from the digital Xbox store, being more inclined to subscribe to Game Pass, buying Xbox hardware, etc. Jim Ryan pointed out that the company worries that Xbox could also degrade the PlayStation version of Call of Duty when it comes to performance, networking, etc. Reading from Arts Techina, such a move would seriously damage our reputation. Sony Interactive Entertainment CEO Jim Ryan told the CMA in a recent hearing, our gamers would desert our platform in droves, and network effects would exacerbate the problem. Our business would never recover. So that's the conversation there, but I'm not really here to dive into that specifically. I'm here to talk about the continued bashing that's going on right now. People are still out here calling Jim Ryan pathetic or crying from both ends, and it's surprising to see. And I'm thinking at this point, how are people still not realizing that both Jim Ryan and Phil Spencer are going to say whatever they need to get this deal to turn in their favor? People talk about Sony looking weak, and I'm here to tell you that no one outside of this little bubble of people on Twitter and here on YouTube care about what's being said, or care about the memes, or care about Jim Ryan crying, or Phil Spencer with the Pinocchio nose. Nobody cares about those outside of this little bubble that we have here in the gaming industry. Not the gaming industry as a whole. The whole industry doesn't even care that much. If the deal goes through, it'll be a big blow to Sony, not because of what Jim Ryan said, or the endless debates people had on Twitter, or the memes about Jim Ryan is crying, but because of how big this deal is. That's really why this would be a big blow, just how big the deal is. Of course, this is not to say what's being said here about lifetime value of a player being higher if players convert to Xbox, as I said earlier, or the potential that Xbox would release a better version of Call of Duty on Xbox are crazy things to say either. Look at Psychonauts 2, for example. That is a multi-platform game. Only Xbox got the next-gen upgrade for Series X and S. There is no PlayStation 5 version of the game. If you look at the stats, the Series S version of the game is better than the PlayStation 5 version of the game, which is just like an FPS patch from the last generation, I believe. Fans who paid for the game were upset by this, and Xbox players' response was just, what did you expect? Xbox doesn't owe PlayStation anything. They own the studio. Obviously, Call of Duty is a different beast. It's a multiplayer game, but even then, I wouldn't be surprised if Call of Duty started having performance issues on PlayStation. They would just say similar things. Now, diving into the second story of the video, Spider-Man 2 trailer. So this is a quick story, but recently we got the trailer for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, something a lot of us have been waiting to see. It looks great from what I've seen from the trailer. I'm excited to obviously watch it when it finally drops. Now, with that said, some have wondered if this means a Spider-Man 2 trailer could be upon us in the near future. Sony started a bit of the Spider-Man 2 hype train with their live from PlayStation ads from earlier this year, which I think are still going on in certain places. They now released a full-blown trailer for Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, which showcases the PlayStation Spider-Man in there as well. And this has people wondering if we're close to seeing a new Spider-Man 2 trailer drop. Again, this game comes out later this year. We haven't seen anything since 2021. This is also added on to what Jeff Grubb said about a PlayStation showcase happening potentially before Summer Games Fest, so in late May or very early June, maybe earlier than that. I personally still think we're still waiting for the showcase to see a new Spider-Man 2 trailer, but I wouldn't be surprised if Spider-Man 2 got a solo state of play event earlier on, like they did for Horizon Forbidden West back in 2021, potentially having something sooner before a showcase to give more focus on Spider-Man 2 than anything else. I guess we'll have to wait and see how this plays out. May is next month, so we're not that far off, but you guys let me know if you think the next Spider-Man 2 trailer will be at the PlayStation Showcase, or could it get its own event earlier than that? Let me know down in the comments below. And now diving into the final story of the video, the major DualSense upgrade. Reading from Xputer, Sony has published a new patent that discusses improvements to the haptic feedback feature and the ability to emulate the controller temperature to reflect gameplay moments. It mentions a deformable elastic sensor as well to replace the current plastic material used in PlayStation controllers. The change in sensors will reportedly improve the haptic feedback feature in the current controllers because of utilizing the gel-like material. The document also discusses emulating temperature in the controllers to reflect gameplay using the new material. For example, a hot in-game item could make the controller warm to the touch. The haptic vibrations will travel better through the controller using the elastic material, and Sony discusses using AI to make the experience more natural. So there's more to this, and I'll have the article linked below if you want to dive into it, but this is one of the reasons why I personally really like Sony. Their push to new gaming experiences. They provide new IPs, new games in existing franchises, leap into 3D gaming, handheld gaming with the PSP and the Vita, and more recently with PlayStation VR 1 and VR 2 VR gaming. And of course, there's more to this. However, with that said, I'm curious, how well will a hot and cold controller work? Improving the already amazing haptics is of course solid. I'll take that easy, but making the controller temperature change, I'm not sure how well that would work. It depends on how well it's done, obviously. I assume it'll be slight changes to give you that sense of warmth or coolness. I'll be there day one to buy this thing either way if it ever drops. It could potentially maybe also come with the PlayStation 5 Pro as an upgraded DualSense controller they release with it. Who knows? But you guys let me know if you'd be into a controller that changes temperature or not. Let me know down in the comments below. And if you guys did enjoy this video, please hit that like button. As it always helps, and subscribe if you're new. I got new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And now I'll check you guys out on the next one. And welcome back to the after show. This is the part of the video where we have a little fun down in the comments below. If you're old, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. For today's thing, what I want you guys to do is to body, obliterate, destroy, and overall harass the comment section with Bring On the Heat. This is related to the PlayStation Showcase. I've been doing this at every video recently just because I'm excited for this event. It's been so long. And obviously, this probably kind of relates to the DualSense controller's temperature change. We'll take both here. We'll take both. So if you are hyped for a potentially new DualSense controller with upgraded haptics and the upcoming PlayStation Showcase, destroy the comment section with Bring On the Heat. And I'll definitely heart those comments like I always do because I appreciate everybody who stays to the end of my videos. And now, I'll check you guys out on the next one.